What if the most powerful words in a heated argument were the ones left unspoken? The Stoics understood a forgotten truth. In the heat of conflict, true power is not found in the sharpness of the tongue, but in the stillness of the mind. This is the path to unshakable verbal mastery. Master your words in heated moments. Stoic Clarity Mindset, compiled and published by Stoic Dominion. Lesson 1. Inner stillness before the storm. The great oak tree does not tense and fight against the coming storm. It stands rooted and still. Its strength found not in resistance, but in its deep and unwavering connection to the earth. So too must the mind be rooted in stillness before the storm of a heated moment, for it is from this stillness that true strength arises. We have all felt that first surge of adrenaline, that tightening in the chest when a conversation turns confrontational. Our heart rate quickens, our thoughts begin to race, and a primal instinct to attack or defend takes over. We feel ourselves being pulled into an emotional vortex, losing our sense of calm and centeredness before a single word is even spoken. The problem is that once we lose this inner stillness, we have already lost the battle. We enter the conflict from a position of weakness, our words and actions dictated by reactive emotion rather than by conscious, rational thought. We become a ship without a rudder, tossed about by the chaotic waves of the argument, destined to crash upon the rocks of regret. The transformative solution is the proactive cultivation of inner stillness as a daily practice so that it becomes our default state, our unshakable foundation. This is the habit of preparing for the storm long before the clouds ever gather. The core Stoic idea is that our outer world is a reflection of our inner world. A mind that is habitually chaotic and agitated will inevitably create chaotic and agitated conversations. But a mind that is trained in stillness, that regularly returns to a state of calm, will bring that same quality of peace and stability to even the most difficult interactions. You cannot pour a calm glass of water from a vessel that is constantly being shaken. The actionable steps to cultivating this stillness are simple but profound. First, dedicate 5 minutes every morning to absolute silence. No phone, no music, no distractions. Simply sit and become aware of the quiet space around you and within you. Second, practice mindful breathing throughout your day. For 60 seconds at a time, focus only on the sensation of your breath entering and leaving your body. This trains your attention to remain calm under pressure. Third, spend time in nature, observing the effortless stillness of a tree, a lake, or the sky. Let nature be your teacher. The benefit of this practice is that you will build a deep reservoir of inner peace. Your baseline state will shift from agitated to tranquil. When a heated moment does arise, you will not have to search for stillness. You will simply be operating from it. It will be your natural starting point. Your call to action is to commit to the 5-minute silent ritual every morning for 1 week. This is not about achieving a perfectly silent mind, but about the discipline of showing up and creating the space for stillness to grow. This inner stillness is our foundation. But how do we maintain it when the winds of conflict begin to blow? Our next lesson will explore the immense power that lies beneath restraint. If you are ready to build your inner fortress, affirm your commitment by liking this video. Lesson 2. The power beneath restraint. In the heat of conflict, the person who appears most powerful, the one who is loudest, most aggressive, and most forceful, is almost always the one who is least in control. True power is not found in the explosive force of a wildfire, but in the quiet, contained energy of a deep and steady river. We are conditioned to believe that winning an argument means overpowering our opponent with a torrent of words, with sharp rebuttals and clever comebacks. We feel a visceral urge to unleash our frustration, to vent our anger, believing that this release will bring us satisfaction and victory. This approach is a trap. The problem is that unrestrained speech in a heated moment is a sign of slavery, not power. It reveals that we are slaves to our immediate impulses, that our emotions have seized control of our rational mind. Every unrestrained word we speak is a confession that we have lost command of ourselves. This loss of self-command ensures that we can never truly achieve a positive outcome, as we are adding more heat, not more light, to the situation. The transformative solution lies in discovering the immense and often overlooked power of restraint. It is the conscious and disciplined choice to hold back the first, second, and even third wave of reactive words that rise to our lips, understanding that our strength multiplies in the silence. The core Stoic wisdom here is that restraint is not weakness. It is the ultimate display of self-control, and self-control is the foundation of all true power. By restraining your immediate impulse to speak, you are not surrendering. You are taking command of the only thing you can truly control, yourself. This act of self-mastery creates a space for wisdom to emerge. It allows the initial hot emotion to cool, revealing the clearer, more rational thoughts that lie beneath. The actionable steps to harness this power require immense discipline in the moment. First, make a silent vow to yourself at the beginning of a difficult conversation. I will listen more than I speak. Second, when you feel the powerful urge to interrupt or retort, bite the inside of your cheek or press your thumb and forefinger together. Use a physical anchor to remind you of your commitment to restraint. Third, use the time you would have spent speaking to listen with ferocious intensity, not to form a rebuttal, but to truly understand the other person's perspective, even if you disagree with it. The benefit of this practice is a profound shift in the dynamic of every conflict. You will cease to be a contributor to the chaos and will instead become a calm, observant force. Your silence will be more impactful than their shouting. You will conserve your energy, maintain your dignity, and gain a clear strategic advantage by understanding the situation fully before you act. Your motivational practice is to engage in one conversation this week where you consciously practice the 70-30 rule. Listen 70% of the time and speak only 30% of the time. Experience for yourself the power that comes from deliberate restraint. Restraint gives us power and space, but when we do choose to speak, what should our words be like? Our next lesson will focus on the critical art of speaking with precision. If you've ever felt the regret of speaking too soon, share your experience in the comments below. Lesson 3. Precision in every word spoken. The unskilled archer shoots a dozen arrows hoping one will hit the target, littering the field with their failed attempts. The master archer, however, waits in perfect stillness, draws the bowstring with focused intent, and releases a single, precise arrow that flies true to the heart of the matter. In a heated moment, our words must be like that single, precise arrow. When the pressure of a conflict mounts and we finally break our disciplined restraint, the temptation is to let loose a flood of words, to state our case with a barrage of accusations, justifications, and emotional exaggerations. We speak in generalities, saying things like, "You always do this," or "You never listen." The problem with this verbal flood is that it is imprecise and therefore ineffective. Broad generalizations and emotional language obscure the real issue and immediately put the other person on the defensive. Your message, no matter how valid, is lost in the noise of the emotional delivery. You have wasted your precious arrows on the empty air. The transformative solution is the Stoic habit of speaking with deliberate and objective precision. It is the practice of choosing your words as carefully as a surgeon chooses their instruments, ensuring that each word is true, necessary, and free from the distortion of emotional charge. The core idea is that clear, objective language is disarming. It bypasses the ego's defenses and speaks directly to the rational mind. The goal is not to win the argument, but to bring clarity to the situation. Precision is the enemy of confusion and emotional escalation. By sticking to the observable facts, you anchor the conversation in reality, preventing it from spiraling into the chaos of he said, she said. The actionable steps require a shift from emotional expression to factual communication. First, before you speak, ask yourself, what is the one most important point I need to communicate? Focus on that single target. Second, use factual, objective language. Instead of saying, "You were so disrespectful," which is a judgment, say, "When you interrupted me 3 times, I felt disrespected," which is an observable fact linked to a personal feeling. Third, eliminate words of exaggeration like always and never. They are rarely true and instantly invite defensiveness. The benefit of speaking with precision is that you will be heard in a way you never have been before. Your words will carry immense weight because they are grounded in truth and stripped of aggression. You will de-escalate conflict by refusing to engage in emotional hyperbole, forcing the conversation onto more productive ground. You will preserve your integrity by speaking with unimpeachable accuracy. Your practice for this week is to notice every time you use the words always or never in any conversation. When you catch yourself, immediately pause and restate your point with more precise, accurate language. This will train your mind in the habit of verbal precision. Speaking with precision is a powerful tool. But what happens when the other person continues to bring the emotional heat? Our next lesson will teach you how to disarm conflict with unwavering composure. To continue on this path of mastery, please subscribe to our channel, Stoic Dominion. Lesson 4. Disarming conflict with composure. The storm's fury cannot shake the mountain, for the mountain does not participate in the storm's chaos. It simply is. In a heated argument, your unwavering composure can become like that mountain, a silent, powerful force that disarms the other person's anger by giving it nothing to cling to. When someone directs their anger, frustration, or accusations at us, our instinct is to become defensive. We tense up, our ego feels threatened, and we immediately begin to formulate a counterattack. We meet their emotional fire with our own, believing that we must defend our honor and prove them wrong. The problem with this defensive posture is that it validates and escalates the conflict. By becoming defensive, you are tacitly agreeing to engage in their emotional battle on their terms. Your defensiveness signals to them that their attacks are landing, which only encourages them to continue. You are feeding the very fire you wish to extinguish. The transformative solution is the Stoic practice of maintaining active, non-defensive composure. This is not a passive or weak stance. It is a highly disciplined and strategic choice to remain centered and calm, refusing to internalize the emotional energy being directed at you. The core wisdom is that another person's anger is their own. It is a fire burning within them. You do not have to allow that fire to ignite you. By maintaining your composure, you create a fire break. You are not condoning their behavior, but you are refusing to let it become your own. This composure is profoundly disarming because it is unexpected. An angry person expects a fight. When they are met with calm, their aggression has nowhere to go and often begins to dissipate on its own. The actionable steps to cultivating this composure require immense inner strength. First, focus on your physiology. Keep your breathing slow and steady, consciously relax your shoulders and facial muscles, and maintain a neutral but open posture. Your calm body will signal calm to your mind. Second, listen without formulating a defense. Your only goal is to let them empty their cup, to say what they need to say. This act of deep listening can be incredibly de-escalating. Third, when they have finished, respond with a calm, clarifying statement, such as, "It sounds like you are feeling very frustrated by this situation," or, "Let me make sure I understand what you are saying." This shows you have listened without agreeing or disagreeing. The benefit of this practice is that you will become a master of de-escalation. You will find that most conflicts resolve themselves much more quickly when you refuse to add your own fuel to the fire. You will preserve your inner peace and energy, refusing to allow someone else's lack of control to dictate your own. This is the art of winning by not fighting. Your practice is to visualize a person or situation that typically triggers a defensive reaction in you. In your mind, rehearse the scene, but this time, see yourself standing like a mountain, calm and composed, letting their words wash over you without affecting your inner state. Practice this visualization until the feeling of composure feels natural. To maintain this composure requires a deep well of inner strength. Our next lesson will explore the courage it takes to remain unshaken. If you find this lesson valuable, let us know by liking this video. Lesson 5. Courage to remain unshaken. The true courage of a warrior is not found in the heat of the charge, but in the discipline to hold the line under fire, to remain steadfast and unshaken when chaos erupts all around. In a heated moment, the greatest act of courage is often the refusal to be moved from your center of calm and reason. The deep, primal fear that drives our reactivity in conflict is the fear of being diminished. We fear that if we do not fight back, if we do not defend our position aggressively, we will be seen as weak, our status will be lowered, and our ego will be wounded. This fear of losing face is what compels us to abandon our composure and enter the fray. The problem is that this fear is a treacherous advisor. It convinces us that our self-worth is something external, something that can be taken from us by another person's words or anger. By acting on this fear, we place the key to our self-esteem in someone else's pocket. We confirm our own belief that we are fragile and need to be defended. The transformative solution is to cultivate the Stoic courage to anchor your sense of self-worth internally. It is the brave decision to know that your value as a person is not up for debate and cannot be diminished by external criticism or anger. It is the courage to remain unshaken because you are rooted in something unshakable. The core idea is that your character is your only true possession. Your integrity, your wisdom, your commitment to virtue, these are the things that define you. Another person's opinion is just that, an opinion. Their anger is their anger. Neither can touch the core of who you are unless you grant them permission to do so. The courageous act is to withhold that permission, to know that your inner citadel is inviolable. The actionable steps to build this courage are a form of inner work. First, you must clearly define your own values. What does it mean for you to act with integrity and courage? Write it down. When you are clear on your own principles, you are less swayed by the opinions of others. Second, practice self-validation. At the end of each day, acknowledge one instance where you acted in alignment with your values, regardless of the outcome. This builds an internal source of self-worth. Third, when you are in a heated moment, silently repeat a courageous mantra to yourself, such as, "My worth is not on the line here," or "I choose to respond with strength, not fear." The benefit of this practice is the development of a profound and unshakable confidence. You will no longer enter conversations with the fear of being diminished. You will be able to listen to criticism without crumbling and face anger without flinching, because you know that your core self is safe and secure. This is true fearlessness. Your motivational practice is to identify one core value that you want to embody, e.g., patience, integrity. For 1 week, make it your single intention each day to live by that value. This is how you build the foundation of a courageous character, brick by brick. This courage allows us to face the fire. But what if we could go further? What if we could actually use the energy of that fire for our own growth? Our next lesson will explore how to turn fury into wisdom. To join us, please subscribe to Stoic Dominion. Lesson 6, Turning Fury into Wisdom. The master blacksmith does not fear the intense heat of the forge. They welcome it, for they know it is the very thing that makes the raw iron malleable, allowing it to be shaped into a strong and useful sword. In the same way, the Stoic sage does not fear the heat of another's fury, but sees it as an opportunity to forge their own character into something stronger. Our natural inclination when faced with someone else's intense anger is to see it as a purely negative and destructive force. We view it as an obstacle to be overcome, a threat to be neutralized, or an injustice to be endured. This perspective locks us into a purely defensive or adversarial mindset. The problem with this view is that it misses the profound opportunity for growth that is hidden within every difficult interaction. By seeing the other person's anger as merely an attack, we blind ourselves to the invaluable information it contains. Information about them, about the situation, and most importantly, about ourselves. The transformative solution is the alchemical habit of viewing conflict and fury as a source of wisdom. It is the choice to look past the hostile delivery and see the heated moment as a crucible, a testing ground that can reveal your own weaknesses and temper your virtues. The core Stoic idea is that every obstacle can be a path forward. The anger of another person, while unpleasant, provides you with a perfect, real-world opportunity to practice all the skills we have discussed: restraint, precision, composure, and courage. It is a live training exercise for your soul. Furthermore, their anger can be a mirror, reflecting back to you your own unresolved issues. If their criticism hits a nerve, it is a sign that there is a nerve there to be hit, an area of insecurity within you that is ripe for examination and healing. The actionable steps require you to adopt the mindset of a student. First, after a difficult encounter, ask yourself the question, what did this moment teach me about my own triggers and weaknesses? Be ruthlessly honest with yourself. Second, ask, what virtue did this situation give me an opportunity to practice? Did it call for patience, forgiveness, courage? Third, try to look for the unmet need or fear that might be driving the other person's anger. This shifts you from judgment to compassionate understanding, which is a form of wisdom in itself. The benefit of this practice is that you will no longer dread conflict. You will begin to see it as a vital part of your personal growth journey. You will extract value and wisdom from situations that once only brought you stress and pain. You will become an alchemist of the spirit, turning the lead of fury into the gold of wisdom. Your practice for this week is to reflect on a recent argument or conflict. Instead of focusing on who was right or wrong, write down 3 things you learned about yourself or about the nature of conflict from that single experience. This is the first step in turning fury into wisdom. We have learned to speak with precision and to find wisdom in the heat of the moment. But what about the times when the most powerful action is to say nothing at all? Our final lesson will explore how to command respect with silence. If this lesson has shifted your perspective, please let us know in the comments. Lesson 7, Commanding Respect with Silence. In a world filled with noise where everyone is clamoring to be heard, the person who has mastered the art of deliberate silence possesses a rare and formidable power. In a heated moment, a well-placed silence can speak with more eloquence, authority, and power than 1,000 angry words. Our deepest instinct in a conflict is to fill the silence. An empty space in a conversation feels awkward and tense, and we rush to fill it with our own words, often just to alleviate the discomfort. We believe that to be in control of the conversation, we must be the one who is talking. The problem is that this constant need to speak often stems from insecurity. We are afraid of what might happen in the silence. By rushing to fill it, we rob ourselves of a powerful strategic tool and often end up saying more than we should, weakening our own position. The transformative solution is to learn to wield silence as a tool of communication. It is the practice of using the absence of words to convey strength, confidence, and deep thought. This is not the passive silence of fear or uncertainty, but the active, intentional silence of a person who is completely in command of themselves. The core Stoic idea is that a person who is comfortable with silence projects an aura of immense self-assurance. They are not rattled by the tension of the moment. Their silence communicates that they are not a reactive creature of impulse, but a thoughtful being who is considering the situation with care and depth. This calm self-possession naturally commands the respect of others. An intentional silence often compels the other person to fill it, causing them to reveal more about their own position and anxieties, sometimes even talking themselves around to your point of view. The actionable steps require you to become comfortable with discomfort. First, after another person has spoken, especially if they have been aggressive, deliberately pause for 3 full seconds before you even consider responding. Let the silence hang in the air. Second, during this silence, maintain calm, steady eye contact. Do not look away or appear flustered. Your nonverbal communication should be one of serene confidence. Third, if you feel the other person is trying to bait you into an argument, simply respond to their tirade with a calm, silent gaze, and then, after a pause, gently redirect the conversation to the factual issue at hand. The benefit of mastering silence is that you will add the most powerful tool of all to your communication arsenal. You will de-escalate conflicts by simply refusing to participate in the verbal warfare. You will find that people treat you with a new level of respect, recognizing that you are a person of substance who does not waste words. You will become a master of the unspoken, conveying more with your stillness than others do with their shouting. Your final motivational practice is to try this in a low-stakes situation this week. When someone asks you a question, pause for a full 2 seconds before answering. Get comfortable with that small pocket of silence. This is how you begin to train your ability to wield it with power and grace in more challenging moments. You now have the complete framework for mastering your words and your presence in any heated moment. Which of these 7 lessons do you plan to focus on first? Share your commitment in the comments below. Today we have learned that mastery in heated moments comes not from a sharper tongue, but from a stilled mind. By cultivating inner stillness, restraint, precision, and courage, we transform conflict from a battle to be won into an opportunity for wisdom and growth, commanding respect even in silence. Thank you for dedicating your time to this practice of inner strength. If you found value in this Stoic guide, please like, comment with your insights, and subscribe to Stoic Dominion to continue your journey toward a life of unshakable confidence and peace.